Fallout New Vegas is completely based around your choices. Unlike most games, your choices actually have a heavy impact towards your reputation and the story, with every time you mess with a certain group like the Legion, the NCR, Powder Gangers, New Vegas, etc., you will be hated or vilified by the groups, which means they'll either shoot you on sight or they just don't want to talk to you. And with actual consequences towards the game, it makes you actually think about what you do before you do it, and having your choices impact your reputation. It turns out people do not like being disrespected.
You and I have got nothing to talk about.
You got a lot of nerve walking around here.
You just walked into the wrong camp, my friend.
Yeah! Who won the lottery?
Most people play Fallout New Vegas to progress in the story, be nice to people, and do all that boring stuff. Well, I want to know what happens when you're hated by everyone in Fallout New Vegas. Well, mostly everyone. I don't condone disrespecting Easy Pete.
Howdy.
I spent 10 hours trying to figure this out, and another 60 hours trying to get past the death clause and find literally any location ever in this game. And without further ado, let's play Fallout New Vegas. We start off my story with 3 guys standing right in front of me, one that's just happy to be there, and the other one about to shoot me directly to the cranium.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
I wake up shortly after because thankfully he shot me in the part of my brain that doesn't matter, which is the part where I can have a conversation with someone without wanting to unload my clip. He also shot me in my right hand, which I'm very unhappy about. I wake up to an old man next to me telling me that I have to rebuild my facial features. I do have a little bit of memory loss. I think he was holding a shotgun. Could be the only logical reason on why I had to rebuild my entire face. Or maybe I'm just the first man alive to have his face fully made in his mid-30s. He then unconsensually picks me up. If I didn't just wake up from being shot in the head, I would post this on Twitter. He takes me over to the attributes machine and I choose the absolute greatest stats. Don't ask why charisma is on 1. It is absolutely useless.
Must be some frontal lobe damage.
These are perfect stats. What do you mean? He must not be able to take in my geniusness. Be grateful that my character has no idea what you just said. He then sits me down and talks to me for a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Newspaper.
Enemy.
Crush.
Mother.
Cookie jar. Call me Einstein because in my opinion, I aced that shit. 2 extremely common traits that I happen to have is being incredibly smart and kamikaze. He gives me some stuff that he says I was holding at the time I got shot directly to the cranium, which also tells me that he went through my supplies, which I will not take kindly.
Didn't have much choice, I'm afraid.
After talking to him, I quickly raid through his supplies and then walk out the door.
My eyes!
Him letting me walk out freely to his nice town was the last thing that he wanted to do. Little did he know, in the few hours that he spent rebuilding my brain, he must have forgotten to put in the last bit of morality that I had left in me, so this is not gonna end well for them. We come across this robot called Victor, who was the main man who took me out of my grave in the first place. He has a pretty cool cowboy hat on, so I'll let him live. We come across Easy P, and of course I'm not gonna do anything to him. If there's gonna be one man left in the Wasteland, it will be him.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
You don't gotta worry about that, I'll just shoot her. This lady tells me that she wants to help me with target practice. I think I'll be pretty fine. In the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna be using your town for target practice. But either way, I agreed because 1, I get a free gun, and 2, I like shooting things.
Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles.
Hey, well, to be fair, she's not far off. I was trying to use her as target practice. I walk back into the bar to see these 2 people arguing about taking over a town and kidnapping people. I already like this conversation.
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum.
Well, at least I know I'm not going to be making any friends here. I go to talk to the Joe guy, and this conversation is going to go very well.
First things first, though. You go settle things with Ringo and put a bullet between his eyes.
Hey, you don't gotta tell me twice.
That's close enough.
That is one of many. After I'm done, they're gonna have to rebuild a new cemetery. The Victor robot guy comes up to me and tells me to be careful and that it's dangerous out here.
And admit you're in danger.
Who are you talking to right now? You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
I go back to the Joe guy and tell him that I finished the job, and he tells me that we need to get more equipment before we attack the town. For a group that makes the NCR too scared to even leave their bedroom, I'm surprised you guys don't have more equipment. Like, what do you fight them with? Sticks and stones? But I still go get the armor. I don't care too much about what I have. I can just use him as a human shield. I threatened the store owner to give us more equipment, and it was about as easy as asking a dementia-filled grandma to give me $50 every 5 minutes. I go to the doctor to see if I can lie my way to a few medical supplies, but because I didn't spend too much time in the common sense and lying school, I fumbled hard.
That does sound messy, but not too bad.
I go back to tell the Joe guy that I wasn't able to take any medical supplies, even though throughout the entire time I've been talking to him, I've been gatekeeping maybe a few liters of medical supplies the entire time. With multiple stim packs on my right and a lot of mental issues on my left, I think I am ready to take over this town. After honorably discharging everyone in Goodsprings without a single scratch on me, I do feel good about it, but I do feel like I've left something out. Well, with all that settled, I go back on my adventure, but not without quickly grabbing Chance's knife. It has to be one of the greatest weapons in this game. This is the type of knife you would see in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. Also, ignore the blood, it's supposed to be there. So now, let's actually go back to our psychotic adventures. I come across these powder gangers and have a nice friendly chat with them. It also turns out that they really like knives. This guy comes up to me and tells me that the area is off limits. I tell him that I understand and then walk right through. I also come across another NCR trooper that I murdered for obvious self-defense reasons. Definitely wasn't because I stole from him or anything. Turns out that this area is completely overrun by convicts, and for some reason the NCR will do nothing about it because, oh, they don't have enough manpower. Bro, they fight with sticks and stones and occasionally pipes. How are they a threat to an army? I've seen bigger threats in a Star Wars convention, and you're scared of these guys? I walk into this movie, carnival, hotel place, I don't know, and murder everyone in my sight just because they looked at me funny. I untie this guy from captivity, but then he stands up, obviously trying to intimidate me, so I pull out my shotgun and get a nice clean headshot, obviously family friendly style. Call that whatever you want, but I think I'll do pretty well in court. Well, Your Honor, he looked like he was holding a gun, and that kill even gave me a new level, so clearly the game liked my choice. I walk outside, but you know, I feel like I'm missing something. And they also gave me the key to their bank. What a nice friendly town. But even after that, I still got a lot of chaos to cause and a lot of towns to conquer, so this is only the start. I go talk to the NCR troopers to see if they want to take care of the town, considering I took away their only actual threats, and they say,
shut your fucking hole!
I go to Powder Ganger territory so I can do some tasks for them and eat their teammates.
Look at you. Walking in here like you're one of us?
It takes one nice bullet to go through your skull if you don't let me in right now.
Yeah, alright.
I talk to the leader and he tells me that he needs someone taken out, and he'll be surprised if I ever get out of that fight without one single scratch on me. That apparently everyone that's come across this man has either died or has come back with one missing limb. So surely he's gonna be a lot of trouble, right?
I'm hit.
This fight went about as easy as a pit bull to an unsupervised child. I go back to the leader and he tells me that there's one more person that we have to deal with. And the reason why we have to take him out is because he's not scared of the powder gangers. You know, maybe it's just because he's not a bitch, but I still go anyway.
Well, you see, Fuck. I'm really a bounty hunter trying to catch some powder gangers. but they probably saw through me just like you did.
My recording bugged out in the middle of the conversation, so to explain in short and in the family-friendly way, I murdered him. While I was on my nice stroll, this guy runs up to me after emptying the clip on his crush.
Did you see that? That crazy bitch just attacked me out of nowhere.
And that, kids, is why you don't trust crazy strangers with 9mm SMGs. I come across this nice looking town. I bet the residents are lovely here. They even have their own personal fireplace over there.
God damn it! I was nodding off until you barged in here.
I'm gonna completely ignore the conversation and focus more towards your name. Who the hell names their child after two objects? Boxcars? Who the hell names their child Boxcars? That's gotta be some type of disrespect. What did he do to you for you to name him Boxcars? Hey, well, to be fair, man, your name is pretty rare, mainly because I don't know anyone dumb enough to name their child Boxcars. And I did put him out of his misery, because no one should have to deal with having the name Boxcars. I then come across this group called the Legion, who look like some fine members in society. And they definitely don't look like they would try to eat me if they had the chance.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates.
That's gotta be racist.
He tells me to spread the word of the Legion, which I'll do eventually, just, you know, not right now. On my way, I accidentally aggravated a few bulls, and my dumbass thought I could outrun them. This guy tells me to stay clear of the death claws and to loop around instead of going in the same direction I'm going right now. But you know, how much harm can a death claw really be?
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Since you haven't pissed yourself, I'll assume that you don't know who we are. Next time I'll bring my sickle and wear my black cloak. See, the NCR sends us when they want terrible things done to terrible people. You've got yourself a bad reputation with us, that's what. You've got 3 days to improve your reputation with the NCR, or we come for you.
Most people actually try to fix their reputation with the NCR, try to be more nice to them, but considering the point of the video. I walk into this big dinosaur place in hopes of finding a companion to help me destroy more colonies with double the manpower. But instead I run into this guy who tells me that if I want to know any information on the guy who killed me, I would have to help him. After hearing that, I just left. But then I come back a few hours later to see that there's another person in his place.
If you're an enemy of the NCR, you're an enemy of mine.
Well, I'm in dire need of a new partner, so after hearing that, I went straight to the Powder Gang's main base and said what's good. Before leaving, I had a quick snack and then went straight back to the guy to see if he's changed his mind.
If you're an enemy of the NCR, you're an enemy of mine.
If murdering an entire group that you didn't like wasn't enough, then this was a lost cause.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit if it ain't my old friend from Goodsprings.
Okay, this guy is either an extremely dedicated stalker or a fed. I came across the older lady of the town and gave her a nice fade. I heard haircuts are really difficult to get these days. I come across one of the NCR bases, but quickly get stopped by this girl who I persuaded with just one sentence. No wonder these guys are in a losing battle. They don't even take the time to identify who walks in their building. Just say you're a part of their group and they'll let you in. Now that I'm considered an NCR soldier, I can just waltz right in and steal all of their supplies with no questions asked. They probably think I'm just resupplying for a battle. After robbing these guys for everything they had to offer, I just waltzed right out, no questions asked. I walk up to Veronica and she straight up tells me that I look worse than the before and after of Mr. Avocado. She tells me if I know anything about the Brotherhood of Steel. If I tell her that I shoot them on sight, then she'll automatically try to fight me, but I said not really, just so I can have her as a companion. I go to the gun runner so I can quickly sell a few guns to make 2,000 caps so I can pass the security check and make it past the strip. After doing that, I think I forgot about the main purpose of the video, so I quickly reminded myself. And then I finally make it into Freeside. While I'm making my way to the strip, this guy stops me to tell me about the security check and that if I go past without doing the cap requirement, then I will will die. It's not like the robot is automatically defaulted to go towards you and tell you about the cap requirement, meaning that everything you just said was irrelevant, but you know, thanks for telling me anyway. I do the security check, but I also realize that I still have the 2,000 caps on me, which means that he just checked to see if I was rich enough to go in, which is kind of stupid because the only real things you can do in the strip is talk to Mr. House and kill Benny, so you know, what's the real point of having the 2,000 caps in the first place?
Howdy, partner. You come for a piece, haven't you?
Jesus Christ, is there a place in this entire desert where you're not just waiting for me at the front door? I go to the Lucky 38 so I can talk to Mr. House and talk about business.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Hey, tell me about it, man. I mean, you do happen to be a few hundred miles away, so that's kind of difficult on foot.
My only concern...
I didn't even need him to finish his sentence to know what I was gonna do next.
What in the goddamn? Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves, smooth.
It seems that you have shit aim.
I hit what I was aiming for.
Was your target my morality? Because if so, you aimed perfect.
Guess you had brains to spare.
Yeah, I actually had an extra brain in my inventory at the same time you shot me directly to the cranium. Also, your aim is about as good as Ben Simmons. After the conversation, he gave me a key to one of the best rooms in the hotel so we can talk, but little does he know I'm about to snitch on his ass.
Huh? What are you talking about? That doesn't... He's trying to pull a fast one on the big man. Jesus, I can't even believe it. After all House did to set us up with this swank joint. I don't suppose there's more.
He gives me the key to Benny's room and yep, I have been waiting exactly 8 hours to do that. So I walk right into his room and exterminate him for good. I take the platinum chip off him as well as his gun and his clothes, you know, just for safekeepings, you never know. Then I talk to Yes Man to get his thoughts on what I should do with the platinum chip before I give it to Mr. House, and he says,
"You have? Wow, that's amazing. You can murder Mr. House whenever you want."
After I leave the building, this guy comes up to me and tells me that I need to talk to the almighty Caesar. I honestly forgot about these guys. I go to Mr. House and he gives me some tasks to do which will take a lot of time, so I feel like this is a good time to end the video. If this video does good, I'll consider doing a part 2 of me finishing the entire game this time while being a psychopath, of course. With that being said, I would consider subscribing if you want to end up like this man. Just by subscribing, you automatically grow to 6'3", make millions off your jawline alone, and win the Olympics without even competing. And all of this is done by just subscribing. And if you want to watch any more videos like this, they're on the screen right now.